call Halimla Yahweh Bashem, Haushai Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And a sincere shalom to 144,001 Now, this lesson is gonna be going into Heavenly Father will yet choose Israel. Okay. And before I go into this replacement theology, since I said that, let's pull that up. Isaiah 14:1. And Isaiah 14:1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So this is the Israelites, the Israelite foreigners, okay? The Israelites all coming together under Yahweh Shai, all right? The northern southern kingdom may be in one stick. What is that? Ezekiel 37. Going back to our land with the new incorruptible bodies. Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So this is all end time prophecy right here. We haven't been led out of Babylon the Great, because this is verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? So this is what? The daughter of Babylon, because this is not talking about the Babylonian captivity, because first and foremost, the northern kingdom was not under the Babylonians; they were under the Assyrians. And secondly, after the Babylonian captivity, the Israelites were still having disputes with what? The Persians and the Medes, and then the Greeks and the Romans. We were in our land with slaves. Okay. Now, let's go into this right here. What is replacement theology, supersessionism, supersessionism, fulfillment theology? Replacement theology, also known as essentially teaches that the church has replaced Israel in the Most High's plan. The church is the Israelites. Let's prove that. Acts 7:38. That is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. So who was in the wilderness? And this is talking about Moses. Who was with Moses? Was it fucking Edomites? Huh? Was it Egyptians with fucking Moses in the wilderness, man? Okay? Salakia, excuse my tongue. Who was in the wilderness? Exodus 5:1. And afterward Moses and Aaron went and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. Exodus 15:22. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and that they went out into the wilderness of Shur. So who's that? Who's the church? The Israelites. So that's one debunk right there. Okay. Adherents of replacement theology believe the Jews are no longer God's chosen people. Let's keep reading before I go dive deeper into this madness. And the Most High does not have specific future plans for the nation of Israel. Among the different views of the relationship between the church and this is all brought to you by the devil, Esau, the Edomite, so-called white man. These lies. Among the different views of the relationship between the church and Israel, so Israel and Israel, because the church is the Israelites, or the church has replaced Israel, the church is an expansion of Israel, or the church is a completely different distinct from Israel. It's all madness. So this is all confusion. This is like the elder Matazak says, word salad. Now let's go to, don't worry, because you got a lot of Jakes out here. Not Jakes, but you heathens, Jakes, Israelites, that have this dispute between the Old and the New Testament. I'm going to go into the Old and the New Testament. So let's go to Jeremiah 33. Jeremiah 33rd chapter and verse 20. Thus said Yahweh, if ye can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, that there should not be day and night in their season. So Yahweh is saying, if you can manipulate reality, what we know as day and night, if you can take that away, all right, that's what he's going into. Then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne with the Levites, the priests, my ministers. So this is basically Yahweh saying that Yahweh Shai will not exist. This is what Yahweh is saying. Yahweh Shai will not exist if you can warp reality and take away the sun and the moon, basically. Which is not gonna fucking happen, you fucking devils. Let's go to another one. Because that coincides with what I'm finna get now. That's why I started with that. Jeremiah 31 and 37. You see, Esau, you're a liar. And you're being exposed in due time. Right? Because the Heavenly Father didn't want the truth to come out when we was in captivity under Esau. He didn't want the truth to come out in the 1950s. He wanted the truth to come out when it came out with Abba Bivens and King Mashah and High Priest Ariah and Yahquab. Okay? This is Jeremiah 31 and 37. Thus said Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out, beneath I will cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yahweh. So guess what? If you can measure the heavens, which is the sky, all right, what we know as outer space, and the foundations of the earth. So you got what, the dirt, all right, under the earth, where you have rock formations and caves and all the and tunnels and all this other stuff. That if you can measure that, you can search that out, you can measure that, the Heavenly Father will get rid of His people, right? The Heavenly Father just declared that. But guess what? This is a trick quest, if you will, because it's impossible to do this. Right? The only person who can do this is Yahweh, and of course Yahweh Shai, and so on and so forth. And they for His people, because Yahweh Shai is an Israelite. Proverbs 25 and 3. The heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. So the Heavenly Father is essentially saying that He's never gonna give up His people. But you got this. Where did this come from? Replacement theology. Who is this? The devil. Okay, this is, let's get that. This is the work of the so-called white man to spread lies. Let me see. Is it liar? Let me try that. This doesn't work. I'm gonna do the faster way. Right, perfect. Here it is. Romans 3 and 4. The Most High forbid. Yeah, let the Most High be true, which is these scriptures, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, these scriptures, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So you Edomites have been found guilty as liars. Okay. How do we explain the supernatural survival of the Israelites over the past? So they're saying that the so-called white people, the Amalek, in our land, and when in fact the Israelites are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and of course the speckled, the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout the other nations that look like, okay, the other nations. You're gonna have Israelites looking like small hats. You may have Israelites. I'm pretty sure there's Israelites that's following the customs of the small hats, man. And they look like small hats. You see them walking down the street, you think, "Oh, look at this gutter rat." Whole time it's a Jake. Okay, like a perfect example. Perfect example of what I'm talking about. Mac Miller. He was a quote unquote small hat, right? Small hat from Ireland or something like that. He was a small hat, had the customs and everything. But if you listen to Mac Miller, you look at Mac Miller, he's clearly a Jake. I mean, obvious. It's blatant that Mac Miller was a Jake. Okay, now let's go back here and get Malachi 3:6. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Heavenly Father is the same. He has the same mind, the same understanding, the same way of going about his ways. He changes not. Why hasn't he changed? So something like this doesn't exist. Replacement theology. Because what did he say? So therefore ye sons of Jacob, which are the Israelites, are not consumed. Replacement theology. You see? You see how the devil operates? Now let's go to Romans 9. Romans 9:1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience is also bearing me witness into the Rakakwadash, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. Yeah, because the spirit and the flesh are intertwined. You can't have an Israelite without the spirit and the flesh, because you even with a Jake that looked like a Moabite, his flesh still goes back to an Israelite on a small level, okay? Because of course his outward appearance doesn't reflect it. The reason why is because your lineage is decided by your father, which is your seed, right? The seed that comes out of your rod that carries with it the spirit. Of course, it's not a spirit in there, but the spirit flows through that to determine your lineage. So if you have a Jake, let's say a Jake ended up in China 100 years ago, and he popped a Moabite woman. The son come out looking like Rui Hachimaru, then he pop a Moabite woman, and then the son come out looking like a slightly tanned Moabite, and then he pop a Moabite woman. Now after 2-3 pops, the son or the daughter, let's say a son, he come out looking pure like Xi Jinping, right? The president, the king of China, come out looking just like him. Whole time his flesh, okay, and his spirit goes back to what? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you're going to have a lot of Israelites out there like that. In fact, I saw on YouTube a Israelite camp in South Korea. Okay? Verse 4. Who are Israelites? Okay? Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption? So the Israelites pertain the adoption. So every time you see the adoption, it's for the Israelites. Why? Because they were scattered to all nations. And the glory and the covenants, so the first and the second covenant, and the giving of the law, so sin, all right, knowing what sin is, actually sinning, and the service of the Most High, and the promises. So let's just type in the adoption, okay? Actually, let's go to what do I go to? James 1. Yeah, James 1. James 1:1. James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings. So the whole book of James is for who? The Israelites that were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, which is a part of the curses mentioned in, was it Deuteronomy 28, maybe like 34? Let's see. Nope. But let me just scroll through. I'm pretty sure I'll find it. Verse Deuteronomy 28:64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So James 1:1, scattered abroad. So the Israelites has been scattered into these other nations. So you think they weren't popping other nations? Is written. King David's grandmother was a I think you should Moabite. So Jake has always been popping heathens, man. Let's go to, I think, 1 Peter 1. First Peter 1:1. Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered through Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Who was that? The Israelites. So all these books are straight up telling you who they written for, which are the Israelites, which were scattered. Let's go to Acts 2. I think it's Acts 2. Pretty sure Acts 2nd chapter. In verse 5. And there was dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. So all these Israelites, and some of them probably didn't even look like Israelites, man. They was looking like the other nations. But the spirit was awakened in them to be like, oh, I'm an Israelite. Because you gotta think. You got Jake's, let's say, verse 9. Verse 7 actually. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born, Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers of Mesopotamia. So when they were in these lands, some of them didn't even know they were Israelites. You know, they thought they were Elamites or Mesopotamians or whatever else. And they spoke the language. They didn't even speak Hebrew. It's telling me right there, they're Israelites. They didn't even speak Hebrew. Okay? They spoke, you had Greek back then. You had Latin. That's all the languages I could think of. But Greek and Latin. Some of them were speaking Greek. Some of them were speaking Latin, other languages of these other nations. But that's all. They're all Israelites. They're not fucking Edomites, man, or Mizraim, or Elamites. They're all Jake. Their lineage all went back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. Auto One Rough is always edifying. Hey, Shalom.